35 years old, 2.5 lakh rupees a month, married and has a kid, built no wealth. Is it too late for him?
I don't think a constant amount is going to work for anyone.
In the first week itself, knock off 1 lakh rupees of your 2.5 lakhs into some instrument. For let's say the next 20 years, his corpus would be 10 crores. He or she would be able to do about 15 to 18 crores corpus by the time they are 60. The person would be able to spend about 3 lakh rupees with an inflation of about 7%.
Then how should this person approach investing in mutual funds?
So start with index fund and graduate to flexi cap.
And there are 2 instruments I prefer for this. Or you go in for a...
How many funds are enough?
3 से 4 flexi cap funds अगर आपके पास हैं, you are sorted.
On one axis, we have large, mid and small. And the other axis, growth, value and momentum.
Let's take a profile of someone who is 35 years old. Let's say he earns 2.5 lakh rupees a month. He's married and has a kid, but has almost built no wealth till now. Is it too late for him?
Sir.
No, it's not too late. I remember when I was 35, I had almost nothing. A little bit, but not too much. And pretty similar profile, 2.5 lakhs a month of income. That used to be my take home at that time, a little less than that actually. And yeah, it's, over the next 10 years, a lot happened for me, right? So if you're looking for a living example, then I'm definitely there. Otherwise, there are a series of steps that one needs to follow. The really good thing about this situation is that there is enough time. Mm-hmm. So 35 till 60, assuming there's a 25-year time bracket that's available. Second is there's a lot of income, disposable income that's there. And I'm assuming this person would be able to save at least 1 lakh rupees, right? So there's a lakh which goes into a pot every month, and then that builds up. So between these two factors, I think there's a lot.
Income minus expense is equal to savings नहीं होना चाहिए. Income minus savings is equal to expense होना चाहिए. Obviously necessities पे compromise नहीं हो सकता, and obviously कुछ experience से भी compromise नहीं करना चाहिए. But at the same time ज़रूर consider करें कि क्या जो है आप save कर सकते हैं ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा और वो invest करें. And वन मोर थिंग जो आई थिंक हम सब लोग इग्नोर कर जाते हैं, और अभी मैंने इस पर बात भी करी थी, वाई अवर SIPs विल नॉट वर्क. बिकॉज अगर आप एक कॉन्स्टेंट अमाउंट की SIP रखेंगे और अपनी बढ़ती हुई इनकम के साथ आप उसको स्टेप अप नहीं करेंगे, आई डोंट थिंक अ कॉन्स्टेंट अमाउंट इज गोइंग टू वर्क फॉर एनीवन. तो अगर आपकी इनकम बढ़ती है अगले साल में, आज 2.5 लाख रुपये महीना है, कल को 3 लाख रुपये महीना होती है, तो वो जो इंक्रीज्ड पोर्शन है उसका मैक्सिमम अमाउंट मुझे लगता है कि आपको इन्वेस्टमेंट की तरफ ही ले जाना चाहिए. एंड एक चीज़ मैं और बोलना चाहूँगा अनवी, कि इन सब चीज़ों से पहले एक ना रफ ही सही एक फाइनेंशियल प्लान ज़रूर हाथ में होना चाहिए. व्हाट आर माई नॉन नेगोशिएबल गोल्स, व्हाट इज़ द अमाउंट रिक्वायर्ड फॉर दोज गोल्स, एंड देन आप उसके बाद एक प्लान बनाएं कि मैं कहाँ पे इन्वेस्ट करने वाला हूँ.
Yeah, I think sometimes people wake up to this thought very late ki okay, they need to plan very seriously about their future, and then maybe the kind of content that we also produce doesn't help, which is that this person achieved FIRE at 35 with a 5 crore corpus and stuff like that. How do you deal with this feeling of FOMO? Because people around you are achieving their FIRE numbers and are reaching this corpus of 2 crores, 5 crores, 10 crores, whatever that number can be for them, and then there are people who feel like I've not done anything. So
मैं बताता हूँ, सबसे पहले तो शॉर्ट्स और रील्स देखना छोड़ दो. पर्सनल फाइनेंस में सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट वर्ड है पर्सनल. शायद किसी के लिए 4 करोड़ भी बहुत हो, शायद किसी के लिए 40 करोड़ भी कम पड़ जाए, राइट? तो आपको सबसे पहले अपने आप को जानना है. आपने अननेसेसरी किसी और के फायर नंबर को अपना फायर नंबर नहीं बनाना है. और फोमो से बचने का यही तरीका है कि फोमो में इंसान क्यों पड़ता है? अगेन, जब क्लैरिटी ऑफ गोल नहीं है. अगर आपके पास क्लैरिटी ऑफ गोल है, अगर आपके पास एक प्लान है प्रॉपर कि दिस इज़ माय फायर नंबर, माय पर्सनल फायर नंबर, आप कभी फोमो में नहीं पड़ोगे. एंड फोमो की वजह से लोग क्या करते हैं, जब उनका प्लान क्लियर नहीं होता, गोल क्लियर नहीं होता, दे चेज ट्रेंड्स. आज गोल्ड बढ़ रहा है, आज गोल्ड में डाल देता हूँ, आज सिल्वर बढ़ रहा है, सिल्वर में डाल देता हूँ, और फिर वो ट्रेंड्स फॉलो करके कुछ नहीं होता. वो रिटेल पब्लिक हमेशा ट्रेंड के टॉप पे ही फंसता है, राइट? वो जिन्होंने प्रॉफिट बुक करने होते हैं वो निकल जाता है.
My mathematics on this 2.5 lakh person who's about to save 1 lakh rupees every month and can invest it somewhere, he or she would be able to do about 15 to 18 crores of corpus by the time they are 60. Okay, and then comes the question of back calculation, because why are you having this corpus? It's not to put a tweet, oh, I've done so much or anything, right? You want to spend it.
Right.
So when you do the reverse calculation, you will see that if a person has about 15 crores by the time he or she is 60, then the person would be able to spend about 3 lakh rupees in that time's money.
Right.
Okay, with an inflation of about 7%, which I think is a pretty comfortable number for a lot of people to have. So that's how I look at things.
But let's assume that this person doesn't want to work till 60, right? I mean, we are talking about the fact that, this person wants to fire. What are some habits that this profile of person needs to inculcate ताकि वो इस नंबर पे थोड़ा जल्दी पहुंच पाए? Again, मैं assumptions reiterate कर देती हूँ कि 2.5 lakhs का income है, married, has 1 kid. बाकी हम बहुत सारे factors लेके let's not complicate this. पर अगर ये है तो what kind of habits does this person like, क्या चीज़ों को लेके mindful रहना चाहिए कि ये करना है और ये नहीं करना है?
एक, he should definitely work for retirement corpus. B, he should definitely work for the higher education of the kid, right? अगर वो ये 2 goals sorted रख लेते हैं, आई थिंक फिर उनका वो नंबर अपने आप निकल आएगा, मैं कितने साल में जो रिटायर हो सकता हूँ, और उन्हीं गोल्स के लिए वो एग्रेसिवली इन्वेस्ट करते हैं अपनी जो भी उनके आने वाली इनकम है. दैट्स इट. तो उसके हिसाब से पता लगा सकते हैं. इसके अलावा अब पर्सनल हैबिट्स, लोगों के क्या शौक होते हैं. अब जैसे किसी को
लाइफस्टाइल इन्फ्लेशन इज आई थिंक वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट थिंग दैट कीप्स पीपल फ्रॉम creating meaningful wealth, right?
See, मेरा थोड़ा सा इसमें थोड़ा डिफरेंट, मेरा थॉट प्रोसेस थोड़ा चेंज हुआ है ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम. सो रिटर्न ऑन इक्विटी इज़ वन थिंग एंड रिटर्न ऑन एक्सपीरियंसेस इज अनदर थिंग, राइट? तो ऐसा ना हो कि आप रिटर्न ऑन इक्विटी के चक्कर में रिटर्न ऑन एक्सपीरियंसेस को मिस कर जाओ. तो आपने बैलेंस करना सीखना है, जो मुझे समझ आया अभी तक, आपको बैलेंस करना सीखना है.
So there's this concept of forced savings. Even this 35-year-old, since he's been working for quite some time, there's already some money which has been accumulated. It's called the Employee Provident Fund. Okay, he doesn't know it, or he doesn't even have it in his head at the moment, in his conscious thoughts, but it's definitely there. And this might be a decent sum of money, 30-40 lakhs के आसपास शायद बन गया हो. Why did it happen? Is because it was forced upon him. If the company wasn't cutting that money from his paycheck, उसने शायद वो भी उड़ा देना था.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, how can we inculcate this forced saving habit into our regular this thing, at least for this person, is in the first week itself, knock off 1 lakh rupees of your 2.5 lakhs into some instrument. This can go into a PPF, it can go into mutual funds, it can go into anything.
ये कहना बहुत आसान है कि रिटायर अर्ली. एक बार आप खाली बैठ के देखो. You will realize it's very difficult. आपके पास तब भी कोई ना कोई पर्पस, कोई ना कोई गोल जो है वो होना चाहिए.
Right.
अगर आपके पास वो नहीं है ना, तो आई डोंट थिंक कि आप सर्वाइव भी कर पाओगे. आप 2 दिन में अपना सर पकड़ लोगे कि मुझसे नहीं हो रहा, मैं वापस जा रहा हूँ.
So I have this one friend who is taken some place around Nasik. So I asked him, I called him up and like, dude, what are you doing? So he's like, nothing here, I read books the whole day. And anything more engaging you do? Well, yeah. So, a lot of potholes near my house. So I go and shout at the district collector every day. And I'm pretty sure he does that. Because college में भी ऐसे ही था. थोड़ा सा vociferous बंदा था.
आप देख रहे हो ना कि कुछ ना कुछ चाहिए आपको, गोल चाहिए आपको.
You need some purpose, even if it's just like going around and shouting at people that you're not doing your job.
Going back to that question you said ना कि कब तक वो fire हो सकता है. So I'll just present one data here that if this person is saving 1 lakh rupees a month, is investing it, and let's say it goes into some instrument or a combination of instruments which does about 12% per annum. Okay, let's not go into post-tax, pre-tax. Let's say this is gross. So the mathematics says that if you're putting 1 lakh rupees every month for, let's say, the next 20 years, so he's 35 now, so 55, his corpus would be 10 crores at the age of 55.
Right.
And then you give him another 5 more years, and let's say he's able to do some freelancing or whatever. So he's able to manage his expenses. So that 10 can effectively become about 16, 17. So the same number that I used, 15 to 18 के बीच में हो सकता है by the age of 60. So that's the guesstimate I can give you of how much this person can be. And now that he knows कि मेरे पास ये 17-18 करोड़ होगा at the age of 60, then he has to do the back calculation and see कि मैं किस type का lifestyle जी सकता हूँ.
Even once the person reaches that FIRE number, they should try to delay taking out money from that corpus, right? But any data or thoughts on that?
अगर आप कर सकते हैं, मतलब अगर आप फ्रीलांसिंग में या कोई आपको और तरह का आपका इनकम जनरेट हो सकता है जिससे आपके डेली एक्सपेंसेस निकल रहे हैं, तो व्हाई नॉट. आपका कॉर्पस जितने समय तक वो बना रहेगा वहाँ पे, वो उतना आपके लिए अर्न करता रहेगा. बट अगेन आपको चेक करना है कि फिर वही नहीं करना कि बहुत ही ज़्यादा अपने आप को स्क्वीज इन कर दिया है कि नहीं भाई मैं तो एकदम गरीबों वाली ज़िंदगी जीऊँगा अगले 3 साल.
Is that coming from a personal experience? आपने ऐसे
मैं बहुत खर्च
मेरा personal experience है इसके ऊपर. So I started working when I was 22. Okay, and I worked till 42. If I just keep the real estate aside, the liquid corpus which I had was about 3 crore के आसपास. Okay, I'm putting my EPF, PPF money को सब जोड़ जाड़ के उस टाइम पे. I'm 46 now. Okay, so for 4 years, I've been a self-employed person. The logic which I had in my head is कि 3 crore रुपए है अभी. Let's say my final retirement is going to happen at the age of 62. So 20 years hence. Again, that same formula which I use. So basically, if you have 1 rupee with you, at 12.2% compounding over 20 years, it becomes 10 rupees. So मैंने यही हिसाब लगाया. I said this 3 crores will become 30 crores by the time I'm 62 if I don't touch it. If I just leave it in, let's say, a mutual fund.
So all you have to do is sort out your active income.
Exactly. So my thought process was, which means from the age of 42 till 62, all I need to do is to put food on the table. So if my expense is only 1 lakh a month, then if I earn 1 lakh a month, I'm sorted.
Let's say that the most effective way of investing for this person could be mutual funds. Again, I'm not saying maybe, there could be some debt also, there could be some other instruments also, but let's assume that the major instrument is, the major asset class is mutual funds. Then how should this person approach investing in mutual funds? Let's say he's starting from zero, right? What kind of mutual fund portfolio should this person be building?
और मुझे लगता है कि अगर कोई भी व्यक्ति इन्वेस्ट करना सीख रहा है तो स्टार्ट विद इंडेक्स फंड एंड ग्रेजुएट टू फ्लेक्सी कैप, मोर देन सफिशिएंट फॉर योर इक्विटी पोर्शन. डेट के लिए फिर अलग अलग म्यूचुअल फंड्स और अलग अलग इंस्ट्रूमेंट है, बट इंडेक्स फंड से आप शुरुआत कर सकते हैं.
Sure.
Yeah, in my case, I'll take it a little differently because he's investing for the first time. Let's say this person, right?
He's also starting at 35, so maybe we should keep a more aggressive approach.
नहीं ऐसा नहीं है. I think his first objective, or at least when we consult him, our first objective is to ensure that he sees green in the portfolio. Okay, it can't be a situation where he's put money in equity and suddenly something has happened and he's seeing 10% down. That is completely going to destroy his confidence. Correct. So the idea should be to help him see green, and there are 2 instruments which I prefer for this. If it's too conservative, then it's probably a equity savings fund, which puts in 1/3 of your assets in equity, 1/3 in debt, 1/3 in arbitrage. So it's more safer than growth fund, than being adventurous. Or you go in for a balance advantage fund. If you look at the data for both these funds, at least on an annual basis, they generally don't go negative. The fund manager is able to manage, or this construct is able to manage. Generally good things happen. Now the return expectation here is not going to be too high. It's going to be 8% for an equity savings fund, while a balance advantage fund, you can say 11 to 12%. Okay, this is all pre-tax I'm giving you, right? My suggestion for this person would be to put some money there. Over the next 1 year, he builds his confidence. So he's seeing, oh, okay, green. Right. Every month, every day, my money is virtually increasing, right? I'm also going to assume that this person already has a provident fund there, employee provident fund, public provident fund. So, it's basically a balance between safe assets and growth assets.
Right.
So he already has a lot of safe assets, is my understanding. Now he needs to inject growth assets. But I don't want to push him immediately into growth.
Got it.
I want to get him into a balanced stage very quickly. And very quickly, within a year, I'll push him into growth. So that's how the trajectory I would want to build for this.
How many funds are enough?
3 से 4 फ्लेक्सी कैप फंड्स अगर आपके पास हैं, यू आर सॉर्टेड. इसके अलावा फिर आप बस YouTube देख के अगर कुछ खरीद रहे हो तो खरीद रहे हो. अदरवाइज 3 से 4 फ्लेक्सी कैप मेरे हिसाब से मोर देन सफिशिएंट.
I don't have an answer to this.
You don't have the authority to answer this.
I can't look into the eyes and say, I have the answer to this. मुझसे नहीं होगा.
कॉमन मैन के हिसाब से बताओ ना, मतलब एक ले मैन के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से बता सकते हो.
I had to do it from scratch once again. What I'll do is I'll pick up 4 fund managers whom I really trust, who have kind of done it well for the last 20 odd years, and irrespective of whatever category. Now most of them would be diversified only. I'm not talking about thematic categories. तो चाहे वो large and mid cap हो या mid cap ho, small cap ho, flexi cap ho, I'll just follow those guys, put it there.
Shankar, you also have a 3:3 framework.
So this 3x3 thing was, you can say, a little bit out of desperation only, because I had so many schemes with me कि मैं कहाँ किसको fit करता, it was like completely, and that was this 3x3 grid, very simple. On one axis we have the 3 market capitalizations, which is large, mid and small, and the other axis we have the 3 styles of investing, which is growth, value and momentum. You can add more if you want, but I've just kind of kept it to this thing. And then I said, my job now is to take all these schemes which I have, and can I fit it within this box? So that's what I try and do. So for example, Nippon India large cap fund would definitely go into the large cap category. But does it go into growth or momentum or value? So you need to know that. So this one goes more into a kind of a growth, thoda blend hai growth and value ka, so it's somewhere there, that's the style which is there. Similarly, let's take Parag Parikh Flexi Cap, okay? It'll go probably again in that growth value kind of a middle box, okay? And again, it's going to be more of large. But you take a Bandhan small cap, for example, that's going to be growth and small caps, right? So similarly, I can fit different funds into it, and that's how I kind of create that box. So it's a mental picture for me as to how I want my final construct to be, and
what should the ideal grid look like?
But if you take the 35-year-old once again, and given the state of affairs that he or she is in, they would want to be more aggressive with small caps and mid caps, because that's probably where a lot of alpha can be created. So they would probably go for 33, 33, 33. But me being at my stage, my comfort is 50% in large caps, 25 in mid, and 25 in small. Similarly, on the 3 styles of investing, I have 70% in growth, about 15% in value, 15% in momentum.
And active versus passive, and when should the graduation happen from passive to active, for example?
एक बार मैं प्रशांत जैन जी के साथ बात कर रहा था, वर्चुअल इंटरव्यू कर रहा था मैं उनका, तो मैंने उनसे क्वेश्चन पूछ लिया. अब वो
trying to get a job with you.
no. तब वो HDFC के CIO ही थे, right? I was trying to get a job there.
Okay.
तो मैंने उनसे पूछा सर एक्टिव वर्सेस पैसिव, सेम क्वेश्चन, राइट? बस वो मुझे डांट नहीं सकते थे क्योंकि फॉर्मल एनवायरनमेंट था नहीं, तो ऑलमोस्ट उन्होंने डांट दिया था कि ये एक्टिव वर्सेस पैसिव होना ही क्यों है. Why cannot they coexist? एक्टिव और पैसिव दोनों ही कोएग्जिस्ट क्यों नहीं कर सकते? और अगर आपको पैसिव करना है पैसिव करो, एक्टिव करना है एक्टिव करना. आप यहाँ पे क्यों आए हो? आप रिटर्न कमाने आए हो, आप वेल्थ क्रिएट करना है, अपने गोल्स अचीव करना है हो. अब आप बस पकड़ो या टैक्सी पकड़ो, आपके अगर जब तक डेस्टिनेशन पे आप सही समय पे पहुंच रहे हो, it hardly matters.
Let's say a person is investing in mutual funds and has these particular problems, right? They started a lot of random SIPs. They have overlapping funds, they have regular plans, they have underperforming active funds also. How can they go about cleaning up their portfolio? Like any practical tips on what?
I think the overlapping funds is not a problem. Okay, why it's not a problem is because I think if 2 fund managers are both loving one stock, then maybe there is something in that stock.
Right.
So why should I feel that one of them is wrong? It's not the thing. So that is something I will not care much about. In terms of your random SIPs, your first attempt should not be to get rid of them. You should need to first put it in a box like the 3x3 grid which I spoke of. You try and fit it first. Kahin na kahin fit hoga. There must be some logic that you've used when you first went for it. So try and fit it somewhere. If it doesn't fit, then you keep it aside. So the first thing you do is obviously you stop that particular SIP, right? Cancel that SIP. Don't put any more money inside it. Underperforming funds, yes. I think this is where most of the action is definitely required. You need to know why it is underperforming also. There's always a reason. Maybe that person who's handling it doesn't have too much of experience. Whether he's more of a one-period artist. That is... he's building it more on momentum. That is, जब बढ़ता है तो अच्छा बढ़ता है, जब घटता है, and you had that video also where you spoke to Mr. Chaturvedi of Motilal Oswal, right? And he kind of acknowledged that, hey, when it does well, we'll do very well. When it doesn't do well, we'll not do well during that time, and there's only few things that we can do to kind of mitigate the downside there. So that is something I would definitely want to attack first. This particular part. On this last one, which is on regular versus direct, it's a very tough one, because if you already have too many units on the regular side itself, to get rid of that also means a massive tax burden for yourself. Okay, so what I would suggest is try and match it up with your other situations. So if you have some losses which have come up, especially during tax harvesting, then you can get rid of your regular plans and kind of mix and match so that the tax incidence is less.
और नहीं तो वो 1.25 लाख का जो एग्जाम्पशन होता है उसका भी बेनिफिट उठा सकते हैं. बट पता है शंकर सर, मैंने देखा है ऐसा, मतलब जितने भी लोगों से मैंने डिस्कशन किया ड्यूरिंग द क्लासेस, जितने भी लोग रेगुलर प्लान्स में हैं या जो आप एक आम इन्वेस्टर के हिसाब से देखोगे ना, एक बिल्कुल नॉर्मल व्यक्ति के हिसाब से, उस पे टैक्स बर्डन उतना होता नहीं है. उसने भी 1 साल हुआ होता है, 2 साल हुआ होता है, स्टार्ट किया होता है, छोटा SIP होता है.
मतलब maybe their tax liability won't be that high.
Yes. तो वही मैं कह रहा हूँ कि वो हार्ड स्टेप वो अगर आपको लेना पड़ रहा है और थोड़ा बहुत इधर उधर आपका टैक्स जा भी रहा है थोड़ा बहुत, तो आप वो लीजिए और इमीडिएटली लीजिए. आप समझ लीजिए कि दिस इज द फीस यू हैव पेड फॉर लर्निंग कि व्हाट इज गुड एंड व्हाट इज बैड. तो आपको हार्ड स्टेप जरूर लेना.
मतलब if you have realized that regular plans are not adding a lot of value in your life, I mean cut your losses, right? I mean क्योंकि वो commissions तो as your investments will increase बल्कि वो और बढ़ते जाएंगे. So just like sort of cut your losses when you can.
Sometime people think कि अरे रेगुलर से डायरेक्ट में तो एक ही स्कीम में शिफ्ट कर रहा हूं.
स्विच करने का तरीका नहीं है. आपको एग्जिट करना पड़ेगा, रिडीम करना पड़ेगा and only then you can reinvest.
और उसमें वही आप 1.25 लाख की एग्जम्पशन यूज कर सकते हैं. एंड प्लीज कंसिडर अगर आपने और आपके स्पाउस ने दोनों ने मिलकर इन्वेस्ट किया हुआ है तो दोनों की 1.25 लाख की लिमिट अलग होने वाली है. तो उसका भी आप फायदा उठा सकते हैं.
So in all these 4 problems, the biggest ones are getting rid of underperforming funds. And if you don't see any value in being invested in regular plans, then exit that ASAP and reinvest that money in direct plans. Number 3, which is too many SIPs, is still something that you can, over time also you can decide. Like,
only if you're not able to figure out why this SIP is there in the first place, then get rid of it.
Then of course, I mean, and that's also an easy thing to do. You just have to like stop that SIP, right? And lastly, one doesn't have to worry too much about overlapping funds. What are the biggest financial mistakes urban Indian families make in their 30s that quietly destroy their long-term wealth?
I'll start with the insurance bit. Some people think that, health insurance abhi nahi chahiye, we can get it at a later stage. But if you really look at the data, claim incidence that we have for a person in the 20s is actually more than the 30s.
Oh,
strange.
Because in the 20s, you're getting into accidents and all that stuff here. So the incidence is pretty high there. 30s, maybe you get married, you're having proper food, you have a more sedentary lifestyle, exactly. So you're still making that family of yours. So it kind of goes down a bit, and then again it starts going up. So it's a curve kind of thing that's there. So
second mistake मुझे लगता है कि they do not use credit cards wisely. Credit cards को अगर आप ढंग से यूज़ करें तो वो आपके लिए बहुत सारे बेनिफिट्स दे सकते हैं. एंड लोग ये सोचते हैं कि क्रेडिट कार्ड ले लिया तो जो क्रेडिट कार्ड की लिमिट है वो मेरी इनकम है. ऐसा होता नहीं है. वो क्रेडिट कार्ड की लिमिट आपकी इनकम नहीं बन जाती है. एट द एंड ऑफ द डे दैट इज़ अ लोन, एंड उस लोन पे आपको इंटरेस्ट बहुत भारी चुकाना पड़ता है. अराउंड 36 to 48% पर एनम, दैट इज़ द रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट. एंड क्रेडिट कार्ड का इंटरेस्ट इज़ द ओनली इंटरेस्ट जिस पे GST भी लगता है. आप और किसी इंटरेस्ट पे कभी GST पे नहीं करते हो, बट क्रेडिट कार्ड के इंटरेस्ट पे अबव द 36% पर एनम यू विल हैव टू पे 18% GST ऑल्सो.
The fastest way to get to any place is the road you know. There will always be a lot of exotic products which will come in. Like, today we're talking about mutual funds, for example, but then someone will come up with something called an SIF,
PMS,
or a PMS, or a AIF, or, all those abbreviations will keep on coming in. Can't help it, right? No virtue and no benefits of complicating matters, so keep it as simple as possible. That really works with personal finance.
Got it. I think that's a great note to end our conversation. Thank you so much, Shankar and Neeraj, for taking out the time.
No, most welcome, Anvi. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Anvi. Thank you so much. मुझे बहुत मज़ा आया बातचीत करके.